Good evening YouTube, so I'm back here with another video, and today we're just taking another look here at Nikilith, and a very short video. I just want to talk about her passive effect here, the buff Shelter of Faith, how it is supposed to work, and why it needs to be fixed. And in this example here, it might work. The thing is that it's not consistent, it's not really working as it is intended, but once it gets fixed very soon from the developers, it will be a very nice addition to the game. Now, the Shelter of Faith here, there are two different variations. If you have the hero below exclusive tree, then you have the 50% Shelter of Faith one, right? If you have her at exclusive tree, then you have 2 times this Shelter of Faith buff. You will have one at 66% and you'll have one at 33%. So the 50% is only before you get her to exclusive tree. If you have her exclusive tree, then you just get 66 and 33 instead. Right, so in my example here, I've put in Nikki and Marie. I've put in Murinjing and I put in a Nikki on the other side. I've given them the stats from my account. So I've synced the stats here just to show you that the stats is like it would be. Obviously this is trial arena, so we do not have auras, we do not have blessings and stuff like that. All of that stuff, right? I've given both Murinjing and Nikki their echoes. You can give them the echoes here. You can see it here. They have the echo. And so that is also included in these results here. But what I want to talk about is the enemy Nikki here. I've made her exclusive 2, just so she starts with the resonance status, which means that she'll be having the 50% buff from the beginning, and our Nikki here will have the 2 buffs, okay? So I'm just going to show you an example here, how it will work out. First of all, you would want to start with the S4 here. And as you can see in the example, they actually took a lot of damage, and that is because of the exclusive of Marie. So you can already see here how much damage Nikki has done in this testing environment, and that is because of Nikki exclusive 3, I think it is, 3 it must be, where she does the 200% attack when ally does some damage, right? But you can see that the enemies here, they still have the buff up here, so everything is good. Now in this case here, I would use my Arcane Gem, my Glory of Judgment. You do not want to start with the S4 on Marie here, because you want to have that reappearance buff, right, when you nuke. So just start with the basic attack if you don't have the if you don't have any Arcane Gem. And the reason why you want to start with that instead of the S4 is because you need to start with the S4 on your Nikki, so that she has the 4-turn resonance enhancement status instead of just 1 turn, because in a real environment you will be CC'd if you don't have the resonance enhancement status on Nikki, so you want to have that. Anyways, let's move on here. So the thing is here, now you can see I'm doing some stuff here with my Nikki, and we've put the reappearance buff onto Marie. Let's slow it down to see what happens here. You can see both Murinjing and Nikki here has the buff, so let's see what happens here when we hit him twice here. Now there we have it. You can actually see, I'm gonna pause it and go in and see. You can see Murinjing is stuck at 50% HP. He still have the buff, but that's because I stopped it while Marie was doing her turn. And that is exactly how it's gonna work. So let's see here, she's gonna follow up with the reappearance buff here. And once again, you can see I'm only doing 1 damage on all of that. That is perfect, that is how it is supposed to work. That is not how it works all the time. Now, obviously, Murinjing is not at 50% HP anymore. He is at 74%, and that is because of his passive here, where he heals himself and all of that Murinjing shenanigans going on, right? So, but the buff still disappeared. It's correct. It should disappear, even though he is above 50% now, because he was below 50%. He dipped below. The buff disappeared. Everything is good. She still have it on the other side of the road here. So we want to see if we can maybe do something about it so she gets out of stealth here. Now the reason my Nikki is taking double turns here is because of the passive also down here at exclusive 3, where she gets another turn when she trigger one of her abilities, and she has one that triggers at 66 because I have the exclusive 3. So that is also, you can also see I only have 1 left here, and that's because Murinjing actually made me trigger it. So now I have 1 buff left here on my Nikki, and we have 1 buff less over there. So we're gonna kill Moonjing here with the reappearance buff, and now we will see if the same thing will happen here with this one here. So we want to put the reappearance buff onto the enemy here, and let's see here, she still had the buff. So now in this case here, we're actually gonna see now, I'm just gonna do this one here, I think. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so that was enough damage to drop her below 50%, and you can see she's at exactly 50% now, and the buff disappeared. So that is quite unfortunate, because I wanted to cheat a bit and just do like this here to show you that she would not be able to kill her like that. But that is what it is. Let's just quickly do it with two of the buffs here. Let's see, she is exclusive 3. I'm gonna make the video pretty short here, hopefully, just to show you how it works and how it's intended to work. And this is how it's working. And the whole idea of this Nikki passive here is actually to stop Marie from just absolutely one-shotting your team, because the meta in PvP at the moment is Marie just going super fast, and then she'll just nuke your entire team when she gets a chance, right? That is the meta right now, and what we can be afraid of is that with Nikki now doing the double turn on Marie, everything will just die, right? And the only way you can counter that is actually, well, have your own Nikki is one of the ways to do it. But let's see here now, everyone has a 2. Obviously the buff will disappear faster this time, because it's already gonna disappear at 66% instead of 50%. So let's just keep an eye out here what happens. Let's see here, I'm gonna start with the S4 and see what happens here. Let's see. So now we have a turn here. We want to do, because I want to do the double nuke, right? So, and I don't have the reappearance buff because I started with the other one. So now I'm gonna do the reappearance buff here, and let's see what happens. Let's just see here. So now let's stop it here and see. You can already see here actually Moonjing's one of his buffs actually disappeared. It's because I didn't even notice it, but during the fight here, his HP has been below 66%. So, and then he healed himself up to 100% again. So he only has the 33% buff left. She has both though, still. So let's just see here what happens here. Again, this one here should be at 33% instead of 50%. And let's see if we can pause it here before he heals himself. And you can see his HP is at exactly 33%, sorry, of HP, which is what we would expect, and he still have to buff because Marie hasn't finished her turn yet. Now her turn is finished, and now the buff is gone, and now Moonjing healed himself back up again here to 57%. But all the buffs disappeared because his HP was about to dip below 33%. Now, that is one of the bugs at the moment, is that sometimes it doesn't like register, so it doesn't stop at 33% or 50% or 66%. And it will just go through and just one-shot your team instead. And obviously that is one of the bugs that needs to be fixed, because it needs to be consistent. Otherwise it is not worth it, right? So, but as you can see here, like let's just do it a few more times here to see if we can. You can see she still has her ability here, but we cannot target her yet. We need to kill Moonjing here first to target him. And now we can actually do, I'm just going to do this here. Is she still in this state? So she is. Let's see here. So actually my Nikki procced the 66% buff on that Nikki there. I don't know, and that is one of the issues with Nikki, I guess. And I know this is trial arena and all that, but Nikki is pretty squishy. She is a support hero, not a tank. She doesn't have anything reducing damage other than the cold debuff here, which I cannot apply because I've copy pasted my Nikki stats. So she has the same tenacity, which means that she's not gonna do a cold damage on her. So other than the shield here, actually no real damage reduction other than the echo, obviously. But you can see clearly with a 5-star echo, it's not even enough, right? So kind of weak in that regard. But let's see here what we can do. Now I'm gonna go with this one here, I think. Just put her in, and we will see here, you can actually see my Nikki proc the other Nikki's 33% buff as well. And the other Nikki is at exactly 33% because she could not get lower, but that is just from my Nikki doing stuff, and we all know that Nikki is not strong. So you can see how easily the buff disappears. And that is an issue. That is an issue, and yeah, that's just the issue, really. It goes away real quick here, and now she will be able to kill her. But the entire point of that buff there, the Shelter of Fate, is to stop the one-shots from happening. We've had in the past Erato who could reduce damage down to, I think it was 25% per attack or per stage. And then we have Giselle, Echo. We've had Marie now that can remove dots and stuff like that, or stop dots from doing damage. And Nikki's Shelter of Faith is another example of something that can help you stop the burst that comes. And that is because obviously Marie in the meta is just one-shotting people. And that has kind of been stopped. And once the passive works 100% consistently, it's going to be a great addition for PvP, right? And also for PvE, bosses can't one-shot you from the beginning of the battle, or, well, if you have an exclusive tree, obviously, the first time you go below 66%, you will not go below 66%, and vice versa with 33%. So you have like you can take 2 big hits before you die, so it's kind of like stopping you from dying, but not really, because the third time you're going to be dead, right? Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, just a showcase of the Shelter of Faith buff, how it's supposed to work, and what is the intention behind it. And once it gets fixed so it's consistent, I think it's gonna be very nice for her in the meta. Alright guys, cheers, bye.